My fiancée only sang one song at karaoke, and I vanished from our wedding the very next day. Standing there in her white dress, she had no idea I was gone. Still lost in her drunken longing for her first love. It all started last night when she was out drinking. I went to pick her up and saw her crying. This woman, always so cold and distant with me, had tear-filled eyes as she sang those lyrics. Later, I finally learned how to love, but you are already gone. Beside her, her best friend sighed and patted her shoulder. I never told you, but he is back. Do you want to see him? Some names do not need to be spoken. Chen Hong, my fiancé's first love. Their relationship had been a dramatic, toxic mess that neither of them could ever truly let go of. In the end, his departure taught her how to love. My breath caught in my throat, praying she would say no. But after a silent pause, she dialed that familiar number anyway. The moment the call connected, the entire room fell dead silent. A trembling, choked voice came through the speaker. I heard you are getting married. Yes, tomorrow, she murmured. The man fell silent, trying to suppress his tears before snapping. Then why are you calling me tonight? I stood right outside the door, frozen. My heart plunged into a bottomless ocean. I wanted to know too. What was my fiancée doing, calling her long-lost ex the night before our wedding? Was she saying a final goodbye, or rekindling an old flame? Inside the dimly lit room, she sat in the corner. Her face was hidden in the shadows, but her rigid shoulders showed her struggle. Her friends held their breath, waiting for her to speak. On the phone, the man demanded bitterly, Are you bragging to me? Do you enjoy rubbing it in my face? Do you want to watch me suffer? Knowing I have been heartbroken for years, unable to love anyone else because of you. Does that make you happy? I admit I lost, okay? By the end, his voice was cracked and frantic, completely losing control. A dull thud of a fist hitting a wall echoed through the line. She bolted upright, her calm facade shattering. Chen Hong, have you been drinking? Who said you could drink alone at night? Where are you? I drowned in that dark ocean, unable to breathe. The last sliver of hope inside me died. During our 5 years together, everyone told me she was mature and emotionally stable. She never threw tantrums, never caused drama, and handled everything with perfect, calm grace. She was almost too perfect to be real. I had never seen her look so panicked and frantic. She looked like a vulnerable 18-year-old girl in love. On the phone, Chen Hong snapped back petulantly. Leave me alone. You have a fiancé now. It is far too late for you to care. Her knuckles turned white as she gripped the phone. Chen Hong, listen to me first. I don't want to hear it, he interrupted. Why did we love each other so much but could not end up together while you get to marry him? His voice cracked with grief. Why did you have to love someone else? How am I worse than him? She replied softly. No, Chen Hong, you are not worse than him. Her words seemed to give him courage. He pressed on. So, in your heart, I am actually better, right? I stood frozen outside. Inside, she fell silent for a long moment before whispering, No. Hearing that, the man on the phone must have felt his heart stop, just like mine did. But before he could start crying, she quickly spoke up again. She said earnestly, Chen Hong, you are unique. You do not need to be compared to anyone. He is unique, but I am not. He is irreplaceable to her, while I am just a placeholder. In that case, I am letting you go. I am calling off this wedding. Chen Hong finally gave her his address. Her friends immediately started cheering. Go get him! You will be his wife after tomorrow anyway. So use tonight to be wild for love one last time. She grabbed her coat. Even though she was drunk, she was ready to run to him without a second thought. But as she flung the door open, our eyes met in the flashing lights. She froze. The air in the hallway instantly turned to ice. Zhiheng, what are you doing here? She stopped, a flicker of panic crossing her face. When did you get here? Why did not you say anything? Just now, I said calmly. I heard you were drunk, so I came to pick you up. Her eyes wavered with guilt. I am fine, Zhiheng. It is late, and our wedding is tomorrow. You will get dark circles if you stay up. Go home first. Xiao Shu can drive me. Xiao Xue was the friend who had just egged her on. So where are you heading now? I asked, testing her. She hesitated, unsure of how much I had overheard. Zhiheng, I have some urgent business to handle. I looked into her eyes and asked quietly, Do you really have to go? She fell silent. I could see the struggle in her eyes. Objectively speaking, she was an incredible woman. She had built her own successful company at a young age, establishing her career with her wealth, beauty, and talent. She had good character, too. For 5 years, she treated me with respect and care. If this was just a marriage of convenience, I might have tolerated her loving someone else. But we did not meet through a blind date. We chose each other. I truly fell for her and gave her all my love. That is why I could not ignore the thorn in my heart named Chen Hong. Her warm hand suddenly grabbed mine, gently squeezing it to comfort me. Jihang, be good and wait for me. I will resolve this quickly. Her tone was as gentle as always, but her furrowed brow betrayed her hidden impatience. She was in a rush. Without waiting for my reply, she brushed past me. Xiao Shu stepped up to smooth things over. Do not overthink it. She really has an emergency. Don't worry, she won't miss the wedding tomorrow. I looked back at the karaoke screen. The paused music video showed the lyrics, "Some people are lost forever once missed." I smiled, my own calm voice surprising me. Tell her she does not need to come back. Xiao Shui froze in shock. I slowly slid off the engagement ring from my ring finger. I placed it on the sofa where she had just been sitting. Please return this to her. I thought I could walk away easily. But returning to my hotel room alone, seeing the wedding decorations we lovingly put up together broke me. I broke down and wept. I first noticed Chen Hong when I found a pristine graduation photo in her desk drawer. Her teenage love was both hidden and bold. While everyone else stared at the camera, she was staring only at him. Is this your first love? I had joked back then. She paused, then actually nodded. I stared at the boy in the photo clean-cut hair, a bright, sunny smile. It is all in the past, she said, cutting my thoughts short. She put the photo away. A gut feeling warned me, but her behavior had always been flawless. She let me check her phone anytime. There was no trace of anyone named Chen Hong. It turned out she kept him hidden in her heart. She did not return until dawn. Her hair was messy, smelling of alcohol mixed with a strange man's cologne. Jiheng, I am sorry, she murmured. There is something I need to discuss with you. We might need to postpone the wedding. Is it because of him? I asked calmly. She froze. You know, was the sunrise beautiful? She fell silent. In the digital age, finding Chen Hong's social media profile was incredibly easy. I scrolled through his posts, seeing a side of her I never knew. This woman who guarded her time so fiercely once waited outside his building all night when he was mad. Just because he wanted to see her, she once drove 8 hours straight overnight. She would get jealous and ignore him over minor things. Their love was immature, yet intense. His latest post from 30 minutes ago was a beach sunrise, showing their intertwined hands. The caption read, "This is the promise you owed me. 4 years ago, I asked her to watch a beach sunrise with me. She had hesitated, then suggested going to a mountain peak instead. She told me a snow-capped mountain sunrise would be much more romantic. She kept her promise. A week later, she drove me up to see the snowy peaks. I was thrilled during the road trip, while she remained her usual quiet self. When the sun broke over the snow, I leaned in to kiss her. It was our first kiss. She froze, her eyes shining with something I could not read. Back then, I naively thought she was just nervous and excited, just like me. Now I realized that while she was watching the sunrise with me, she was actually mourning the broken promise she had made to him. Chen Hong is unstable. I cannot just leave him like this, she pleaded. I know, I replied. So, let us call off the wedding. Jiheng, stop overreacting. We are not kids. Besides, isn't this wedding what you wanted most? Before I could speak, a voice called from outside. Ruyan, can I come in? It is freezing out here. Before she could answer, Chen Hong walked right into our room. She frowned, but her voice was thick with worry. Why didn't you wear a coat? I've told you so many times. Who is going to care for you if you get sick? You will, obviously, he smirked. Then he glanced at me. Oh, sorry. I forgot you two are getting married. I stared at this absurd scene. She actually brought him to my hotel room on our wedding day. I took a deep breath. What is the meaning of this? It is not what you think. He just got back and has nowhere to stay. She paused. Besides, weren't you short a groomsman? Chen Hong can fill in. Shut up! I yelled, my entire body shaking with rage. Chen Hong flared up instantly. Are you crazy? Why are you screaming? Ruyan, look at him. Do you hear yourself? You want him to be my groomsman? What's wrong with me being a groomsman? Chen Hong sneered. I am trying to help, but you are ungrateful. Honestly, if I wanted to, I could replace you as the groom today. Ruyan and I were the real couple. You are just a replacement. You are the homewrecker here. He stepped closer, his eyes filled with absolute contempt as he pointed a finger directly at my face. If it were not for me, do you think she would have been so sweet to you all these years? In love, the predecessor plants the tree, and the successor gets the shade. You should thank me. Blind with rage, I swung at him, but before I could connect, he collapsed backward with a loud crash, pretending I had shoved him with all my strength. Ruyan rushed to help him up. Seeing Chen Hong's scraped knee, she completely lost her temper and snapped, Zhang Zhiheng, have you had enough? Our issues are between us. We should solve them ourselves. Bullying Chen Hong is just pathetic. I stared at her, the woman I had loved for 5 years, who was supposed to become my wife. Now, she was holding her first love, standing against me to protect him. Seeing her attack me like this, I suddenly felt so exhausted. The string that had been stretched tight for too long finally snapped. I am making a scene? Didn't you hear him call me a homewrecker? Ruyan, are you deaf or blind? She bit her lip, her face tense. He just spoke without thinking. No matter what, you shouldn't have pushed him. Even though I knew Chen Hong was irreplaceable to her, my heart still ached as if it were being ripped apart. I laughed mockingly at myself. Just get out. Ruyan, I don't want to see either of you ever again. Ruyan was silent for a moment, still speaking in that calm, dismissive tone. You need to calm down first. Once the new wedding date is locked in, I will let you know. Marriage is not a joke. I promise to marry you, and I won't break my word. As if it were charity. With that, she helped Chen Hong up and walked away without looking back. She could stay so calm and confident only because, over the last 5 years, even though she seemingly accommodated me most of the time, I was actually the subordinate one in this relationship. I was the one who loved deeper, the one who was humble. Ruyan knew this. The next day, I went to the bridal shop to return my suit, and unexpectedly ran into them again. Chen Hong looked at the suit in my hand, a flash of smugness in his eyes. Mr. Zhang, do you not feel guilty taking my place? If I had not left back then, you would not even have a chance. I did not want to argue anymore. I spoke calmly. I do not care if you like going back to your ex. No one is fighting you for her. I sincerely wish you two a happy ending. Ruyan looked at me, her brow furrowing almost imperceptibly. A few days later, she emailed me a new wedding proposal. It was worlds apart from my original plan. The romantic baby's breath and blue ocean theme were all Chen Hong's favorite elements. Zhiheng, do you have any objections to this plan? If not, let's go with this. I replied expressionlessly. Whatever. If you're not happy, just say it. I'm fine with it. After all, it's not my wedding. Ruyan might have felt a bit guilty. Zhiheng, I owed Chen Hong too much in the past. I'm just making up for it now. I also went and got your suit back. Don't be childish next time. I promise after we marry, I will be fully devoted to you, and cut off all contact with him, right? I did not believe it. By the wedding day, I had already packed my bags and boarded a plane. Ruyan, I am done playing a part in your love story with your ex. We will never meet again. At the venue, the seats were full of guests. Ruyan stood backstage, staring absent-mindedly toward the entrance. Miss Liu, it is almost time. Everyone is waiting. When is the groom getting here? Wait a bit longer. Behind her, Chen Hong was wearing an elegant best man's suit, but his eyes were completely red. He gently tugged Ruyan's wrist, his voice trembling with suppressed frustration. Ruyan, do you really have to marry him? What am I to you then? Last night, you clearly Ruyan turned around, her brow slightly furrowed, her tone carrying a trace of annoyance, and her usual coldness. Stop talking. What was between us is long gone. The anger in Chen Hong's eyes deepened. Then why did you come to accompany me last night? Why did you watch the sunrise with me? Why did you agree to those demands? Ruyan, look into my eyes and tell me you feel absolutely nothing for me anymore. Ruyan looked silently at his sorrowful, questioning face, a complex struggle flashing in her eyes. She lifted her hand, gently wiping his cheek with her finger. Her voice was soft. Stop talking. It's impossible for us now. I don't care. Chen Hong grabbed her hand tightly, like holding onto a lifesaver. Ruyan, I know you still love me, just like I love you. Let's start over, okay? It's not too late. Right now, her friend Xiao Xiao Shui walked over quickly at this moment, her expression uneasy. Lowering her voice, she said, the hotel just confirmed that your fiancé checked out early this morning. He took all his luggage. Ruyan's body stiffened. Where is his phone? It's turned off, can't get through. In Chen Hong's eyes, a flash of sheer joy flickered before being replaced by deep concern and a subtle hint of mocking. How could Mr. Zhang do this? He knew what day it was, yet he intentionally went missing. Ruyan, he must be trying to use this to control you and humiliate you. Ruyan ignored him, not even hearing a word he said. Refusing to believe it, she pulled out her phone and dialed my number over and over, but she was only met with the cold, automated voicemail. How could this happen? In her heart, a sudden wave of panic and loss finally set in. She had thought I might throw a tantrum, that I might complete the ceremony with a cold face, or even confront her on the spot. but she never imagined I wouldn't show up. Feeling ignored, Chen Hong became upset. He scoffed, Ruyan, do you see now? This is the partner you chose. He abandoned you at a time like this, making you a laughingstock. Do you still insist on marrying him? How does such a selfish, reckless man deserve you? Stop talking. Chen Hong, used to being favored, shouted, Ruyan, why won't you turn around and look at me? The bridesmaids and friends looked at each other, and someone started egging them on. Yeah, Ruyan, since Chen Hong said so, why not just let the best man become the groom? It is better than being humiliated in public. Anyway, Zhang Zhiheng was the one who acted heartless first. A first love ending in marriage is still a happy ending, but others, who had watched their relationship stumble along, pursed their lips. A flaky man like Chen Hong is fine for dating, but for real marriage, you need someone like Zhang Zhiheng. After all, when it comes to living daily life, having someone sensible and reliable is what matters. Unwilling to be outshined, Chen Hong shot back sarcastically. Sensible? I don't see it. How is a man who flees on his wedding day sensible or reliable? The scene was already in complete chaos. Amid the noise, Ruyan seemed unable to hear anything. She stared fixedly at her phone screen. The red exclamation mark was incredibly blinding. I had completely blocked and deleted her. Completely. Leaving absolutely no leeway. Ruyan, say something. Finally, Chen Hong couldn't help but shake her arm. Ruyan pulled her hand back, and under everyone's shocked gazes, she rushed out of the venue without looking back. When the plane landed in Nanchang, I walked out of the airport and turned on my phone. Instantly, countless unread messages and missed calls popped up, almost all from Ruyan. Where are you? Zhiheng, stop messing around. Answer the phone. Please. Finally, there was dead silence. I didn't open a single one to look. I cleared my inbox directly. I breathed in the fresh air of my hometown. Every tree and blade of grass here felt refreshing, bringing a sense of relief to my long-strained nerves, a feeling of pure relaxation. Zhang Zhiheng, you really came back? Chen Yue appeared in front of me. I wasn't surprised. After all, she was the only person I told about coming to Nanchang. She was my childhood friend. My parents passed away when I was young, and my grandmother raised me. Chen Yue lived next door, so I often ran over to their house to get food. After my grandmother also passed away, I hadn't returned to Nanchang for a long time, so I naturally lost touch with Chen Yue. It was only when I was preparing to marry Ruyan a while ago and sent her an invitation that we chatted again. She said she couldn't make it and transferred 50,000 yuan as a wedding gift. This amount was truly too large. I returned it, she sent it again, and I returned it once more. Finally, she called me with a grumpy face. Just take what's given to you. I'm basically your older sister. Why are you acting polite? I remember smiling and asking, Good sister, why aren't you coming to support me at the wedding? Do you really want me there? If you're busy, never mind. Chen Yue sneered, Go ahead and marry her. Just don't come back crying when things go south. I didn't expect her words to come true. Though I didn't come back crying, I still returned in a pathetic state. Chen Yue reached out to take my suitcase, but I didn't let her. She stared at the corner of my eyes. Seems like you're stronger than I thought. I gave her a playful push. Am I just a crybaby in your mind? Even after all these years, there was no awkwardness between us. Chen Yue put her hands in her pockets. Yeah. How many times did you cry on my shoulder growing up? Don't tell me you forgot all those tears. Laughing and talking, we returned to my old house. Pushing the door open, I braced myself for the dust, but it was surprisingly clean and tidy, clearly cleaned by someone beforehand. I looked at Chen Yue sideways. She still had her hands in her pockets, looking incredibly sundered and proud. I smiled secretly and said softly, Thank you. I plan to stay here for a while to clear my head, disabling my old phone card and getting a new number. Every breath here carried the damp fragrance of grass and wood. Time seemed to slow down. My heart was left with nothing but a tired tranquility. I sat by the window, watching the drizzling rain outside. I suddenly remembered the day I met Ruyan. It was a rainy night. Having heard my grandmother was critically ill, I tried desperately to get to the hospital, but couldn't hail a cab. Ruyan's car headlights shone on me through the heavy rain. The window rolled down, revealing her cold profile. Where are you going? I'll drive you. At that moment, she was like a savior to me, letting me see my grandmother one last time before she passed. Back then, I was too filled with gratitude to think about the complex look in her eyes on that rainy night. Seeing me so helpless reminded her of Chen Hong, who had just broken up with her and gone abroad. But as we got to know each other, she found out I was very different from Chen Hong. I was sensible, quiet, and never threw tantrums. Later, as time went on, my gratitude gradually turned into affection. I confessed my feelings to her. After thinking it over for a night, Ruyan agreed to be with me. At the beginning, she was incredibly good to me. She would pick me up and drop me off at work every day. When I was sick, she'd run across half the city just to buy me fever medicine. On cold winter nights, she would tuck my freezing hands into her coat pocket to warm them up. I once playfully asked if she had learned these sweet gestures from some ex. Ruyan just held my arm and said, "This is just what a girlfriend does." When did it start to change? Probably when her career became more successful and her gaze turned increasingly serious, rarely lighting up for me anymore. Or when she decided I was strong and independent, and that she didn't need to make an effort to provide emotional support for our relationship to survive. Or when she felt that no matter what she did, I would never leave. When the rain stopped, I got up to go buy some groceries. Yesterday, Chen Yue was hinting that she wanted my braised pork. But just as I pushed open the old wooden gate, my steps froze. Under the old locust tree stood a familiar figure. A woman in an expensive gown, looking windblown and exhausted. Seeing me, she asked in a raspy voice, "Why did you run away, Jiheng?" I didn't expect Lu Ruyan to trace me here. Surprised, I still walked over. "Why are you here?" My gaze swept over her. She'd stood there so long under the eaves that her coat was soaked. The rain dripped from her. Her eyes were heavily bloodshot, with dark circles showing she hadn't slept in days. "Answer my question, Zhang Ziheng?" Liu Ruyan frowned, her voice raspy as sandpaper. "Why did you flee the wedding? Why leave without a word?" I kept my face blank. "Isn't it perfect? I freed up the spot for your first love. I told you, Chen Hong and I are nothing." Liu Ruyan took a deep breath. "We're over. I only stayed with him because I was too stubborn when we dated and broke his heart. I just felt guilty and wanted to make amends. Zhiheng, I've planned our entire honeymoon. You always wanted to see the northern lights in Iceland, right? We'll go there first, then Northern Europe, and finally to your favorite, Switzerland." She reached out to grab my arm like old times. I stepped back, avoiding her touch. Her hand froze in midair. Softening her voice, she coaxed, "Don't be angry anymore. I was wrong, and ignored you. Just come back with me. We can marry and leave right away, okay?" I quietly watched her finish. Now it's my turn to ask. Liu Ruyan's lips trembled, suddenly looking nervous. "Ask what?" My voice was calm and cold. "Can you tell me the absolute truth? That wedding, from start to finish, who was it really for? Liu Ruyan? Is the person you actually want to marry really me?" "Of course," she gasped. "But the venue wasn't just redone in his favorite blue ocean theme. You ignored my objections and insisted on making him my best man. Wasn't that just to fulfill his dream of having a wedding with you? What do you take me for?" Her throat bobbed, but she couldn't say a word. "See? You can't even answer." I looked down, refusing to meet her eyes. "Because you know the truth deep down, whether you're trying to make amends or because you still have feelings for him, it's over between us, Liu Ruyan." I turned to leave, but she grabbed my wrist. In her panic, her nails scratched my skin. My wrist throbbed with pain, and I lost my patience. "Let go, Liu Ruyan." Her eyes were bloodshot, swirling with unfamiliar desperation. "Zhang Zhiheng, I don't agree to end this." "Oh? Then what do you plan to do?" A lazy voice chimed in. Cheng Yue stood leaning against the gate, hand in pocket. His eyes glared hostilely at her tight grip. He said, "It's over. Can't you hear?" "Who are you?" she snapped. Cheng Yue smirked, walked up, and slapped her hand away. He pulled me behind him protectively, standing slightly taller than her. He didn't lose in presence at all. Cheng Yue raised an eyebrow, drawling playfully. "Who am I?" "I'm Zhang Ziheng's first love, of course." "Why should you have an unforgettable first love, but he can't have a childhood sweetheart?" Liu Ruyan's face turned incredibly pale, as if she'd been stabbed. She stared back and forth between me and Cheng Yue, with utter disbelief and suspicion. Finally, she looked at me, her voice strained. "Is what he says true? Why did you never mention him?" I neither confirmed nor denied it, just looking away. "Why would he tell you anything?" Cheng Yue snapped impatiently. "Let me repeat. It's over between you two. Get lost." I spoke up as well. "Did you hear that, Liu Ruyan? Leave." Liu Ruyan looked completely drained. Her grip slowly loosened, and I pulled my hand back, leaving a clear red mark on my wrist. Cheng Yue scoffed, grabbed my arm, and dragged me straight back into the yard. He slammed the door right in her face. Yet, Liu Ruyan didn't leave Nanchang. She stayed, lingering near my house to talk, her eyes full of belated regret. I ignored her completely. Cheng Yue mocked it as a desperate, dying struggle. Then Chen Hong chased her down here too. He found her place, crying more pitifully than ever before. Casting all pride aside, he begged to get back together. Ruyan, I was wrong. I was too selfish before. I'll change. I really will. Seeing him like this, Liu Ruan frowned, sensing something off. His usual arrogant, spoiled attitude was completely gone. In the past, Chen Hong would never act this humble. Chen Hong, are you in trouble? Liu Ruyan sighed. If you have problems, tell me. Maybe I can help. Chen Hong bit his lip, looking hesitant, but stayed silent. Ruyan, I really just miss our past. I still love you. Zhang Zhiheng has already moved on with someone else, so why can't you look back at me? Let's get married, okay? Before Liu Ruyan could say a word, her friend Xiao Shu called, Ruyan, I found out. Chen Hong owes massive gambling debts abroad. He only came back to trick you into marriage and pay off his loans. Hearing this, Liu Ruyan's sympathy vanished. She looked at him with pure disgust. Chen Hong, how did you sink this low? He cried and begged. Ruyan, I have nowhere else to go. Please, for old time's sake. Liu Ruyan didn't hesitate, ordering her men to drag the hysterical Chen Hong away, sending him back to where he belonged. That night, rain poured in Nanchang. I looked out the window and frowned. Liu Ruan was kneeling in the deluge, hair plastered to her forehead, stubbornly staring up at my window, trying to win back my pity and love. Inside, Chung Yue poured me some hot water. He glanced outside. Soft-hearted again? Want to forgive her? Holding the warm cup, I shook my head. Forgiving someone is like handing them a knife, giving them the power to hurt you again. I looked away, ignoring the blurry figure outside. I won't be that foolish again. Cheng Yue patted my head with relief. Our little crybaby has grown up. I laughed and punched his arm. Outside, through the rain-blurred window, Liu Ruyan saw us laughing. Her heart squeezed with unbearable pain. She finally realized that this time, she had truly lost me forever. When Liu Ruyan woke up, she was in a hospital bed. Chung Yue stood over her with his arms crossed, his voice cold. Awake? The doctor said you collapsed from high fever and stress. Nothing fatal. Her eyes searched the room frantically until she saw me in the hallway. Zhiheng, she croaked, her throat dry and hoarse. I turned around, my face expressionless, and cut her off. Don't misunderstand. I didn't bring you here out of pity. I just didn't want you dying on my doorstep and bringing bad luck. The light in her eyes died. She struggled to sit up. Zhiheng, is there really no hope left for us? I nodded. Pale and trembling, she pleaded. I know I was wrong, Zhiheng, but you can't just deny me even one last chance. That's not fair. I replied quietly. I did give you a chance, Liu Ruyan. Outside that KTV room, I asked if you really had to go. If you'd stayed, I would have ignored everything. Like that song and that phone call. Liu Ruyan froze as the memory hit her, eyes filled with regret. I'm sorry, Zhiheng. At that time, I shook my head, stopping her. I'm not looking for an apology or excuses. You threw away your own chance, Liu Ruyan. You can't blame anyone else. Our connection died right then. She closed her eyes in despair, asking with a pathetic sliver of hope, can we at least be friends? No, I replied instantly. Years ago, Chen Hong taught her how to love before abandoning her. Now, I used my departure to teach her another lesson. Liu Ruyan, once you break up, never stay entangled with your ex. She froze completely, stripped of her last shred of hope, and finally fell silent. Once discharged, she quietly left Nanchang for the sunny north. But the rainy season in her heart would never end. I stayed in Nanchang and opened a small antique shop. Cheng Yue leaned over the windowsill. Not leaving anymore? Yeah, staying for good. After the rain, a beautiful rainbow stretched across the sky.